Well, because I played a lot today. It's because Abby and I watched Rise of Skywalker yesterday,
Oh, what'd you think of it?
last night. Um, Overall, I would say it was a good movie. I thought it was. I mean, it was good. It was exactly what you said it was. It was a good movie. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie, actually. Um, I think there were some like choice. I think there were some like. Oh, hang on. I think there were some like story decisions they made that were just kind of like
Dumb.
okay. Yeah, but I mean, it was an enjoyable movie for what it was. It's like they just kind of scrapped everything that was going on and just like made a new plot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
it felt like the second
it's
movie
like,
in
oh,
a
all
trilogy,
this.
didn't it?
No, yes, exactly. Like, okay, I guess they wrapped up like that, but like it felt unbelievably incomplete.
I feel like there's supposed to be one more movie.
Oh yeah, they could make a new trilogy, essentially. Like it. Oh wait, hang on. Gotta send that little puppy in there. It's like I'm still trying to gather my thoughts on it because I haven't thought about it too much since we saw it. But the trilogy feels like they made. I don't know. It's like they made three movies completely distinct from one another with the same characters. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
Like, there's no part of it that is like, this is a nice, well-rounded, cohesive story. You know?
No,
It
there's
feels
none of
like
that.
the middle episode. It feels like the middle episodes in a TV show, not
Oh,
like a full
that's
story.
perfect. That's a perfect analogy.
There's no like the beginning is okay. Like the beginning's fine, I guess. It's like you have the first episode is the first movie, and then the two movies are just like random episodes that it's like watching episode one, like a 8 episode movie. It's like watching episode 1, episode 3, and then episode like 7.
That's
But it's
perfect.
not with like missing the actual ending and then like filler things in between. It's just kind of like there's no reason for them to have made that story because that story didn't really seem to add anything
Right.
because it wasn't like a complete story. It was just kind of like all over the place. But overall, it was I mean, I thought it was a very enjoyable movie.
It was fun.
Um,
I had a lot of fun watching it.
I thought it was very fun. I thought it was very fun. I feel like they also like did not capitalize on what they should have. Like those like what were those dudes at the end? They were kind of like
The Knights of
they're kind of
Ren,
like Sith troopers. Yeah, the Knights of
the Knights of
whatever.
Ren, and even the
Like,
Sith troopers themselves. It was like,
why on earth did we barely see them at all whatsoever? Like,
I know.
they were like they could have been the coolest part of the movie. Like at least in the Last Jedi, they had like an entire like huge fight scene with those red guys. That was like incredibly cool.
Like,
But like they didn't show them off at all, and we barely saw them, and they got literally creamed.
or I'm like, okay, this is the last Skywalker saga movie. There's got to, and then in
Right,
the trailer
right.
they had all these starships come in. I'm like, there's gonna be a big fucking space battle. It's gonna be even bigger than
Oh, yeah.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I can't fucking wait. And it was like, nope, the Emperor's just gonna shoot lightning out of his fingertips, and like nothing's gonna fucking happen. And you're not gonna get to see any space battle.
Well, and they had
I'm like-
so much freaking potential with Rey shooting lightning. Like, are you kidding me? Like, there was so much they could have done and so much they could have played on. Like, episode 3 was by far more epic on every single level than
Oh god, yeah.
the last movie in an entire saga. Like, this was supposed to be the last movie in the entire saga.
And it was
And-
kind of like, like it was fun, but it's
Right,
also
it was just
like,
kind of like, yeah.
eh.
It was just a fun movie. That's all it was. It did, and it failed, and I would even say its lack of capitalizing on the incredibly cool things that they should have capitalized on, like the Sith Troopers and the Knights of whatever. Like,
yeah, it was very fun, but episode 3 was far more epic, and that is...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back still my favorite. It'll always be my favorite.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Rogue One is my second favorite.
Oh,
And
hands
then
down.
episode
Yeah.
3 after that.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Here's the deal, too. And this is a complaint. Johanna, you don't have to listen to this. Like, when they were fighting,
Fuck! Dude, we have Obi-Wan in there. Why didn't you say anything?
oh, because I was dead. Because it killed me.
Oh.
And I was thinking about what I was going to say. So, okay. So, Rey and Kylo fighting those knights or whatever. Don't listen, Johanna. Them fighting those knights was way more epic than them actually fighting each other. Like, how on
God,
earth
yeah.
can they pull so many cool moves, and then when they fight each other, it's like they're playing patty
Damn
cake.
it.
Like, it's like you'd think they could at least slightly try to have cool lightsaber combat. Like,
I know.
that's the only time you're gonna see it, so you might as well, like, I don't know, you might as well, I don't know, you might as well make it cool. Like why do they all of a sudden get cool skill? Holy crap, dude. Like, how do they all of a sudden get, like, skills whenever they're fighting other people, but when they fight each other, they're just, like, kind of tapping around and swinging super slow. And then they're around everyone else, and they start whirling and spinning and winning. It's ridiculous. It's like, guys, like, okay, do we suck with lightsabers or do we not?
Yeah.
At least, like, what I liked about the original trilogy is it actually had, like, fun.
Structure.
Like, I understand, like, 4, 5, and yeah. But, like, 4, 5, and 6, it's like
A
the first Star
cohesive
Wars movie,
plot.
so, of course... Yeah, but, like, 4, 5, and 6, for lightsaber combat, like, they upgraded a lot as those movies went on, but, like, it also makes sense because they're trying to establish what that fighting style is supposed to look like.
Well, yeah,
And
and
then
it was based off, like, old samurai movies and fighting, so it's like...
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's supposed to be different. It's supposed to be like that.
Exactly. And then in the 1 through 3, it's like they're at their peak of skill, and then they also have, like, figured out how they want the action to be going, you know, how they want the choreography to move. Right. So it's, like, brilliant. But then you have, and I get that Rey wasn't properly trained, but Kylo Ren was. But, like, you'd think they could at least get to the point to where they aren't swinging baseball bats like little leagues, and they're, like, you know, 7 years old, picking up a bat for the first time. They're just, like, swinging and huffing and puffing. Like, they're going to trip on a rock. They're just swinging so hard. And then they jump into the other thing, and they're, like, whirling and twirling. And it's just like, what do you, like...
There was no, like, cohesive...
It's inconsistent.
Now, like, their fight was cool because of, like, the environment.
Right.
But, like, yeah, there was no, like, and, like, they were trying to mix the old trilogy and the prequel trilogy, and it just doesn't work. You gotta go one way or the other.
No. Yeah, and then, okay, and let's complain about Palpatine right now. They completely shit on the entire idea. Like, they shit on the entire idea that Anakin Skywalker was the chosen one. Like, he was absolutely not. He was, like, considering, like, Palpatine's alive and literally fine. Like,
so
how is
the
Anakin
funny
the
thing,
chosen one?
they had a
Rey's
thing.
the chosen
So apparently Palpatine was a clone. He cloned himself.
Oh well, whatever.
That there was a scene explaining all of that, but they took that out. So it was written. It was written into like the visual guide that he was a clone.
But see, that means that wasn't.
But those are canon.
It wasn't in the movie.
Those are
so
canon.
They can say, "Oh, well, that's canon. That's what the story is." It's like, well, it wasn't in the movie. So, in what way is that a part of the story? It's not. It wasn't in the movie. I don't care if they pull canon or not. It's not in the movie. So what am I going to do? Read? Oh, it was a clone. You can't just do that.
No,
it's like
I know.
submitting. I can't submit a paper in college and then send my teacher a message like putting the most pivotal piece of information in it and then expect like. You know what I mean? Expect them to take it.
I mean, like, and the only people that'll know about that are the super nerds like me that, like, read into all that shit and look at that shit. Those are the only ones that are ever going to know that.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, you can put that in canon, you can write it down, but like that doesn't count. It's like putting out a book and then putting a little message and like just kind of putting it on your Facebook wall saying, oh well, actually this is the reason behind this, but I didn't put it in the story at all whatsoever. It's like, no, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. I don't believe it. I mean, I believe they did it, but
having Palpatine come back, like, I'm not so much against it if it was done correctly, but it wasn't. It was not done correctly. But if it was done correctly, and then like you had Anakin coming back and Obi-Wan popping up, like some of the past Jedi, like really just Anakin. If you had Anakin pop up and like talk to Rey as like the Force is now out of balance. I brought it into balance once. You must do the same and like guide her for it. That'd be fucking cool.
Right.
But no, that's just not how they did it. You heard all you had was Hayden Christensen's voice going, "Bring balance to the Force," like I once did, and it's like, well, what was the fucking point originally?
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, you're the chosen one who will bring balance forever and ever, but you're not. You know, it's like, and then, okay, remember initially how they were talking about like the characters, like at the very beginning? Like, what's bad is how obvious, like they literally just pulled stuff out of their ass.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can... It's so obvious that, like, none of this was by design. It's, like, almost offensive, because it's, like...
Yeah, it's just, there are so many things that with that movie. Oh, and apparently, the thing that Finn had to tell Rey and then never did was that he was Force sensitive. I'm like...
Well, fuck that. Okay, no. I refuse to accept that. That's... No.
It's like, no, it's not supposed to work. It's like, okay, great. We all suspected that he was Force sensitive. Fucking say it in the damn movie. Like, don't just be like...
You can't release... Okay, here's what you can't do. You can't release a movie with all of these stupid holes and piss poor decisions, and then, like...
Not have another movie to fix it.
Oh, Anakin's here. Well, yeah, number one, not have a movie to fix it. But number two, what is he doing?
Where, A or B?
Anakin is at A.
Okay, cool. I'm going to B.
You douche.
Have fun. Well, we're losing it, so I'm going to go take it.
Okay, yeah, here's what you can't do. You can't have a crap ton of holes, and you can't have a horrific story without tying anything together, and then regret it, and then say, like, oh... What was he doing? I don't understand that ability, but whatever. And then say, oh, here's a message from the people. This is that, and this is that, and this is that. This is what he was going to say, but we didn't hear it. It's like, you can't then all of a sudden put that into canon. Like, it doesn't work like that. You either put it in through the movie, or it's not there, and you admit that you're terrible at making movies. You can't just... Suck me, dude. You can't just do all this and then say, "Oh no, this is what it is," and this is. It's like, no. Like, it doesn't work. Like, that's just ridiculous. And then, okay, so in the beginning, they're talking about, you know how people complain about Kylo Ren, and they like in the first movie, they're like, "Oh, he's like a Twitter-pated little brat," you know, and then everyone's just like, oh, well, no, these movies are about developing, not just developing the hero, but developing the villain, because Darth Vader was, the perfect villain that had that, thing. Like, they're talking about... Okay, so they're talking about Darth Vader not being able... you can't beat Darth Vader, as like an initial hero. So what can we do differently? Oh, well, instead of just making it... Oh my gosh. Dear Lord.
We're not.
So instead of so instead of making a big bad guy that can try to put up to what Darth Vader was, why don't we make a story about a villain in development and be unique? Well, number one, that's not unique because that's what the prequels did. And number two, okay, that's a good argument for having Kylo Ren being, you know, a Twitter-pated little brat, talking about his development as the big villain. But then you can't just, like, scratch that, here's Palpatine, and he's the big villain. It's just like,
right.
What? Because it's like, well, that goes against you developing Kylo Ren and being the big villain and his maturity and being a villain. Because you just kind of scrapped that and then tossed Palpatine in the middle of it and just said, what do you freaking do? And number three, you can't just introduce Emperor Palpatine like
on a whim.
The biggest, baddest villain in the Star Wars universe in the freaking front little title page thing of the with like the little words that come down.
The Emperor is back, and it's like
of what's going on. The Emperor is back, and they found him, and his force is whispering throughout the galaxy. It's like that's why it feels like it's like, you know, the fourth or fifth episode in a TV show. You know, it's like you're in the, you know, when they have like the recap of like what you missed in last episode. You know, like there's so much in between. That's why it's like in a 10-part series, it's like episode 8 in a 10-part TV show series. Because it's like, well, where did that come from? How did he come about? Why is it that I'm learning about literally the most important thing in this entire movie just on a whim of, oh yeah, by the way, there's no explanation either. It's just, oh yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way,
and
Emperor
it was like,
Palpatine, remember everything in last movie? Like, with Kylo Ren becoming the Supreme Leader and, you know, Luke disappearing and Kylo taking the mantle. Remember all that stuff? Yeah, forget that. Palpatine's back, by the way, and Kylo Ren's trying to find him to kill him. It's like, excuse me? Like, I felt like I missed, like, 2 movies.
Yep. No, I agree.
And they're like, oh yeah, and then Rey is doing... It's like, what are you doing?
In episode 6? Yes, they did.
He's dead.
Yes, he is.
But how did he just come back?
He's a clone.
Yeah, thank you.
Apparently.
But they don't explain that. It's
no,
not
they
like,
don't explain
oh, well, how did he come back? It's like, no, he's just back. Oh, it's just like, oh, by the way, like, remember where we left off? Yeah, just bundle that, throw it in the trash can, and take a shit on it, because none of it matters. Like, Palpatine's back, and whoop-de-doo. Unbelievable.
It's
unbelievable.
So true.
The more I talk about it, the more I get mad at that movie. No wonder the tomato meter was
you want
only
to make
like
it even worse for you? I can make it worse
Please
for you.
do.
So,
Please
you know the end battle scene where they were like riding horses on top of the Star Destroyer?
Yeah.
You want to know what they could have done? All they had to do was tilt the Star Destroyer, and they all would have fallen and died, and that's the end of the movie right there.
That's so freaking true.
I know.
What? That is so freaking true. That is so frustratingly true. Look, all you have to do is turn the freaking ship. Everyone's running on top of it.
You'll find out.
It's like, you want to tilt?
Yeah, you'll find out.
Are they in space? How did they get horses?
It's not
on
technically
the outside of...
It's not technically in space.
Well, it's still technically in space. You have a spaceship.
It's technically not in space. It's in low atmosphere.
Still, how the fuck will you get a 2-ton animal on top of a spaceship?
In a drop ship.
By another spaceship.
By another ship.
Okay, here's the deal though. Here's what they did good. Rey being Palpatine's is extraordinarily cool. But
yes,
what would have been even cooler...
ruined it. They ruined it by...
What would have been even cool... And like,
no.
all of a sudden, like... Now we're gonna do a ritual, I'm gonna possess you. It's like, they didn't even know what they were doing in the movie until...
The whole
like,
message...
It's literally, they just made stuff up.
The whole message of the movie was like, just being who you are, no one's truly special. It's like, it's not your name and your family line that defines you.
That's exactly
It's who you are. And then at the very end,
she
changes her name from Palpatine to Skywalker.
Exactly.
Disproving the point that like anyone can be a hero and a Jedi and a powerful Jedi.
Right. And
oh
family
no,
isn't what's
it's
in
only
your blood
Skywalkers.
necessarily. Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's
exactly
the whole fucking point of the whole entire like sequel trilogy. It's like they fucked so many things up that I can't.
Well, no. Well, number one, they initially okay, so it used to be, so yeah, it doesn't matter, like, who your family is, it just matters, like, who you aren't bound by your family line, you can be powerful, strong without your family line, whatever. Then they vehemently shit on it by making her Palpatine's person, because now, oh, by the way, you are from a special family line, and you are the granddaughter of the most powerful being in the univerce.
By the way, Palpatine
like,
had to
okay,
do someone
theme,
to make her.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, it definitely had to have been rape, because there's no way anybody willingly gave their body to Palpatine. Like, that's just not even remotely right, number one. So Palpatine's a rapist, because that's for darn sure. Because, like, did you see that, dude? Like, that's disgusting.
Here's
number
another
two.
Thing okay, continue. And now ruin the movie more once you're done.
Okay, perfect. Alright, I'm almost done. Okay, so number one. Their underlying theme throughout the entire sequel, you were completely right. It's, it doesn't matter who you are, or where your blood is, or where you came from. You can be fantastic for who you are. Anybody can do it. And then they ruin it by saying, yes, oh, by the way, forget all of that we just said. You're actually this powerful because you're Palpatine's granddaughter. Okay? And then they midway shift the theme into family isn't bound by blood. It's bound by, family isn't bound by blood. It's bound by other things. Just because I'm a Skywalker now because I'm not blood, but it's my family. It's just like.
It's like it just the whole purpose of the movie.
All of the themes that they built on. Oh, we need to build Kylo Ren. Oh, it doesn't matter. Where you came from or what blood you are, you can be fantastic. Like, oh, yep, screw Kylo Ren, Palpatine's back. Yeah, screw her being mysterious and from nowhere and nothing, Palpatine's back. It's like, and Palpatine's Big Daddy, and he raped somebody.
So, I can ruin it even more. So you know how
do it, please.
When they went to Endor, and it was like a 200-year-old Sith dagger that was supposedly guide them to some, like, chamber the Emperor had. How the hell was a 200-year-old dagger perfectly aligned to match the scenery of the blown-up Death Star 2? And
no, that's
how did they know to stand in the exact right spot to look at it that specific way?
That's exactly right. It's one of those things you literally don't think about until that's mentioned. Like, you're absolutely right.
I read it that night. After I saw it, I read it on Reddit, and I was just like, fuck! That's so true!
No, that's exactly right. That's so... Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I told you I could ruin it more.
God. Wow, the more you think about the movie, the more of a train wreck it is.
What I hated most is how they did to Hux. Like, in the first movie, he was, someone trying to become, like, prove himself, be a powerful guy in the First Order. And then in the second movie, it was him versus Kylo Clash. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh,
he's
yes.
There's some funny parts, like there's some goofy parts and dumb parts with him, but like, he's more of a threat. He's like pretty powerful now. And then in the third movie, he was just full on comic relief, dies on a whim.
Right.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm with the Resistance because I just hate Kylo Ren. And I'm like, what the?
It's like,
what?
That makes zero sense. I mean, none of it made sense. None of the character arcs made any sense.
No.
Like, the decisions they made were more for the value. Like, it was more for shock value than it was for like any storytelling purpose at all whatsoever. Oh, Anakin's here, by the way. On A.
Yeah, I discovered that.
I mean, yeah, it was a fun movie. The action was pretty good. It was, fairly interesting. X, Y, and Z. I just have no idea who greenlit any of that. Like honestly, I'm
gonna make you even more mad. I'm gonna make you even more mad.
Oh great.
So.
Oh great.
Before J.J. Abrams, I can't remember the director's name. There's another director, and it wasn't Rian Johnson.
Was it Rian? Rian? Oh.
No, it wasn't. There was a different one that was supposed to direct. So, his movie was going to be
Right.
the Resistance going to Coruscant because I think the Emperor did come back in that, but they explained it better. But it was to go to Coruscant, and the First Order was fighting against like Imperial Remnant troopers, like they were splitting and fighting each other. And so you eventually had the Resistance going underground with the Coruscant people, fighting with old people from the old Empire, still like stormtroopers from the old Empire, and doing like a Resistance war on Coruscant because they had to defeat the Emperor on Coruscant and take over the capital, as that was the center core.
That's way freaking cooler.
Of everything. And like the vehicle designs and stuff were badass that they drew up for concept art. Like R2-D2 died.
That's way cool. What?
They like
see that's
like,
way cooler.
He
like why would you?
And he was like he saved the day, or like from what I read, it was like the concept was like he saved the day, but like at the sacrifice of himself, and like there were like there was actual weight to stuff. And I'm just
right.
Why couldn't we have had that? Like that sounds badass. Like granted, it was just
exactly
storyboard stuff and like writing notes, but at the same time, I'm like that's so much better than what we got.
Well, I mean that's so much. I mean that's exactly right. That's so much better than what we got.
You are disobedient.
Good. Republic forces have altered their defense patterns. Attack accordingly.
It's just they made so many cool characters, like Captain Phasma, Plasma,
And they just
whatever.
killed her off.
And she just and they killed her off without doing anything cool with her. They had the Sith troopers and literally didn't even have like one cool scene with them at all whatsoever. They had the Kylo Ren, weird looking, gothic looking fighting people, whatever their names were.
The Knights of Ren.
Yeah, the Knights of the Knights of Ren. And then they literally did nothing with them except die really, really fast.
Yep.
Like, why on earth did they introduce and like they just introduce and shit on things? It's like, oh, this is cool. Let's shit on it. Oh, this is a cool idea. Let's shit on it.
Or the transferring things through the Force from a bond. I'm like, as cool of a scene that is, and that was a really cool scene. That's dumb as shit.
Wait, which one? Sorry, can you repeat it?
During the end where Rey passed her lightsaber through the Force to Kylo, like, was it a cool moment? Yeah, but that like breaks all Force laws. Like, it makes no sense. What?
No, exactly. I mean, none of it makes any sense.
No, that makes no sense either.
Get past it.
No, you're watching.
Like, why would they ride the horses? Why don't they just have the Star Destroyer drop them
fun.
off where they need to be?
You'll like it. You'll enjoy it. We're picking it apart and bitching about it because we're lifelong Star Wars fans who are super nerds about it, and there are a lot of things that they ruined.
Here's the deal. Why did they drop them off, give them bitch-ass horses, and then, like, have them run all the way across? Like, just drop them off where they need to be.
Yeah.
Like, just drop them off. Like, they don't have to start running everywhere. Or, like, and they got on, what did they do? They got on the thing, and then they used the cannon thing to blow up the control tower? Like, is that what they did?
Yes.
Like, why didn't they just have a starship come in and shoot it?
Yeah.
Like, why did they need to get on the ship in the first place? Like,
exactly.
I actively don't know. Like, oh, we're gonna sacrifice ourselves. Oh, we activated it. Ooh, let's blow up the control tower. It's like, you literally could have just, like, blown up the control tower. I don't know. They introduced too many cool things and then just, like, shat on it. Oh, that's definitely Chewbacca. Yeah, boy.
Where, to the left?
Yep, over where I'm at. It was a fun movie, though. I mean, it was fun. It was good. I'll probably want to watch it again, just to watch it again, but like...
No, I will, because it's Star Wars, but honestly...
And it's fun.
Thank God
like,
for The Mandalorian and for the Clone Wars, because
Yeah.
That's the Mandalorian is like, oh my god, amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up watching some more of
You
it
need
tonight.
Have you started it?
Yeah, I'm on episode. I think I finished the second episode. I think.
Nice. Oh, you haven't even gotten to the good. Oh, episode 3 is so good. I won't tell you anything about it, but it's so good.
Sweet. Wait. Wait, is episode 2 the one where all of the other ones come out, all the other Mandalorians come out, and like
No,
attack?
that's 3. So you have.
Is that the
seen
second one?
episode 3.
Okay, so I have seen 3. Okay, never mind. Seen 3. Yeah, that one was fantastic.
Like, I didn't think there was a bad episode. Like, I think the only people.
Well, so far there definitely is.
The only ones that some people don't like, I think, are like, I think it's like 5. But like, I won't tell you about it.
Okay.
Like, it's just a different kind of episode. But I loved it.
Okay.